Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. Only today the video is going to be slightly different. It's the promised look around some houses video. So if this is not your cup of tea, then feel free to ignore this video and wait for my next tidy video. So one of the days that we went out into Sulmona, we passed by an estate agent and popped in and had a chat with them about what types of houses are in the area and what availability they've got. So kind of the things that we were interested in and what we've been looking for some time online is a very small place that must have an outside space, like a garden or a big terrace area. So we spoke to the ladies. They didn't really speak any English, so my daughter did all the translating, she did really well, but it was difficult for her because obviously the language that she has and the vocabulary that she has is not related to houses and properties. So there were some new words that she learned as well. So this estate agent suggested 2 houses, and the first one was the one that I'm showing now. This is actually 2 separate apartments. And what happened was a man and his son lived here, and then the man moved downstairs, and I think the son then moved out. So the downstairs, all the electrics and everything were done well up to scratch. Also includes a big piece of land, so this massive garage shed area, which does have an asbestos roof, I might add. It also includes these barns, which were old areas for animals, as well as the garden at the end of the barns and also just around the corner. So quite a lot of lands. Obviously that costs quite a lot of money to sort out the asbestos roof. The apartments are both of a good size, and they also were fairly reasonable condition inside. The main concern here was, one of our criteria was that we wanted somewhere we could walk to in terms of bars, restaurants and life. So here there was like one tiny little coffee shop some distance away, so this didn't really meet our criteria. So I show you the video of us going into the apartment, so you can see we go into the main area, which this would be the kitchen. What's common in Italy is they strip all the kitchen units out, and then a number of other rooms which again have very few pieces of furniture in. So this had 2 bedrooms, a living room, a dining room and a bathroom. I quite like the tiled floors, but I just thought that it'd be interesting to do a little video to show you all so you could see what you thought. So you can see that's one of the bedrooms. There is some kind of, this compared to some of the others we looked at is actually in a good condition. The bathroom is big, lots of space in here, obviously very out of date, but a bathroom that could be used for a period of time. Before then, over a period of months, years, you could update different areas within the accommodation. And we really liked the fact that it was 2 separate apartments, so you could actually put one of the apartments on like Airbnb or something similar, and you could stay in have the other apartment for your own personal use. You can see that one of the apartments was more up to date than the other, with slightly more modern bathroom. So this is the upstairs area, and nice views across the mountains and across the gardens, and there's the neighbour's house there. The whole place requires work though, quite a lot of work, but nothing compared to one of the ones that I'm going to show you in this video. So I'll walk around and you can see like how there's patches which are really up to date, like how all the electrics have been done in one floor, so really up to current standards. But then the other floor, none of the electrics have been done. The windows weren't in too bad a condition, but some did need to be replaced. And then, as I said before, you've got the lovely building outside, lovely space, but what would you do with it? Because it's taking up most of your garden area. You only need a fairly small area to store tools and that sort of thing. You certainly don't need a massive great building with obviously the roof that you've got to get rid of, so it's whether you get rid of the whole thing or not. And then the video on this particular place ends with a drone clip. But it'd be so good to look around and just get a feel for what's available and yeah, what sort of houses and how much garden they have. Like I said, I think often to get a place which is right in a town or in a city, it won't have a garden. So this is the other place that we looked at. Now with this, it really feels like they are trying to find a buyer from abroad. The prices were extortionate really. This was a three-storey house. They've now split it into 3 apartments. And the apartment at the top, you can't actually fully stand up across it. There's significant parts that my husband can't actually stand in. Has a lovely roof terrace. But the roof terrace is of limited value when you can't actually stand up in a lot of the apartment. And it seems a shame really to split up a lovely 3-storey house into 3 separate apartments. This particular one, so it's owned within the same family, and they had originally split this big bedroom into 2 rooms. You can see part of the sort of the temporary wall because they had a daughter and a son. It's a very, very big area. The kitchen was quite nice condition, not as bad as some of them that I've seen, so it was certainly functional, usable. There wasn't that much to change, and this was walking distance into the town. But there's tiny balconies, and the only apartment with any outside space was the one right at the top with a very, very limited headspace. And also it's a bit of a strange way to get out into the roof terrace. You sort of had to go through the kitchen and past the bathroom, up some steps, and then get out onto this terrace. And the owner had blocked some windows of the neighbours. So, you know, who knows if the neighbours have complained or not. But in England, obviously, you have a right to light. Who knows what the rules and laws are in Italy. I'm sorry, a couple of the videos are a bit dark, but it does get better. So there's a couple of videos that are dark, and then the lighting improves. Some of these houses, the electrics are turned off, so unless you open the shutters, it can be quite dark. Yeah, so we start at the first apartment, and then I'll take you to the second one. This one was quite a good size, but yeah, limited in terms of outside space. The bath was extremely small. And it just felt like that this is going to sit on the market for a long, long time, which of course houses do in Italy. They stay on the market for much longer than the United Kingdom, where you can expect to put a house for sale up in the United Kingdom and, you know, sometimes sell it within a couple of months if it's the right price and you get the right buyer. But often houses in Italy will stay on the market for several years. So the bathroom looked quite nice. So there's a light being held up there so it could be seen a bit more. And so I'll show you around here and the small balcony. And I really do like a lot of their tiled floors. So easy to keep clean, just brush round. And then we go up some stairs and you'll see the next apartment. Some of these houses, the electrics are turned off. So unless you open the shutters, it can be quite dark. Yeah, so we start at the first apartment, and then I'll take you to the second one. This one was quite a good size, but yeah, limited in terms of outside space. The bath was extremely small, and it just felt like that this is going to sit on the market for a long, long time. Which of course houses do in Italy. They stay on the market for much longer than the United Kingdom, where you can expect to put a house for sale up in the United Kingdom and, you know, sometimes sell it within a couple of months if it's the right price and you get the right buyer. But often houses in Italy will stay on the market for several years. And so now I'm going to show you the next house. And with this house, it's like really typically Italian, very pretty, but you have to really think with your head or your heart? With your heart, it's the sort of thing you look at and think, oh, it's lovely. It's got so much potential. It's lovely in so many ways. But with your head, I should think that we'd be able to come here on holiday in about 8 years' time. Because it just needed so much work. There were things I loved about it, like the tiling is beautiful. Really, really beautiful, that I'd keep. The bathrooms area was nice, fine, absolutely usable, and I wouldn't really change it. They'd got gorgeous tiles in the ensuite bathroom, which really are vintage, that I would want to try and save and preserve. The Art Deco sort of design, really, really lovely. But goodness, there wasn't even really like one room that was like livable and suitable. Although interestingly, the owner of the house lives in Rome, and her mum lived here up until her mum passed away. So when people say whether a place is not habitable or not, this certainly was habitable because a lady was living here. It's got a little courtyard garden, which is quite sweet. Over the other side there, you've got a garage area, a massive storage area. So you can see what I mean in terms of the potential it's got. Really lovely sized bedrooms. I was looking at some of the furniture and thinking, oh, I want that chair. Because many of the items of furniture were originals and they'd hardly really been sat on. You know, they just needed a bit of a dust and they would have been perfect. And then the last place we looked at was an apartment which really was ready to go. So it's 2-bed apartments, and it met the criteria of having a really lovely garden area. So you open up the door and you've got a big kitchen, lounge, dining area. Then you've got bedrooms with big wardrobes on the side. Then you've got an outside area, balcony sort of area where you can dry your clothes, which I liked. And you can just in the distance see the mountains. The trees block part of the view, but you can see the mountains. And the wardrobes are massive. They're really, really big. So, you know, if you wanted to keep them, then fine. But if you wanted to get rid of them, the room would be even bigger. Beautiful views across the mountains. Very, very close to supermarkets, to bars, pubs, parks. So this ticked a lot of boxes really. The outside space will be a fence will be put up to make it completely private. It's got a fig tree and a walnut tree. The only disadvantage was any storage, like for lawnmowers and so on, you'd have to like knock through the other side of the garage. So I hope you've enjoyed my video and you thought it was interesting. I thought it was just nice to have a little look and see what we got up to looking at different places. If you've got any comments, questions, thoughts, preferences, then please let me know in the comments and I'll be pleased to read them. And I know this video is a little bit different to normal, but hopefully you enjoyed it. So thanks a lot for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!